Hello, my name is Ariel Pugh, and I'm here today at Lincoln Prep News to talk to you about the process of a liquid changing into a gas. We have large bodies of water around the earth, and these waters are vital to kicking off the water cycle. The oceans, lakes, rivers, and seas that we have absorb heat energy from the sun. The molecules begin to move around. They vibrate quickly as the water level decreases due to the energy from the sun, and then the molecules escape into the atmosphere as water vapor. Here's an example of this process, which is called evaporation. So here's the water, and then it's boiling, then it's going up into the air as water vapor. Next, we have a process called condensation, which is a gas turning into a liquid. As the water molecules escape into the atmosphere as vapor, it begins to cool due to the high altitudes being low. The vapor then turns into tiny particles of ice water or droplets. The particles also come close together to form the clouds we have in the sky or fog. Here's an example of condensation. We have a water bottle, and as you can see, there's water droplets on it. If you can't see that, then boom, there we have condensation. Okay. Next, we have Amelia Johnson, who's going to take over and talk about sublimation and deposition.
Show to me.
Hi, let me ask you something. What do you know about a solid turning into a gas? Most likely nothing. That's why I'm here to help. When a solid becomes a gas, it's a process called sublimation. Sublimation occurs when molecules interact with heat and the pressure becomes high. The substance then completely skips over the melting phase and turns directly into a gas. An example of a solid turning into a gas is dry ice. Dry ice is a solid carbon dioxide, but unfortunately, we don't have any dry ice. Okay, next is this deposition. Hey, don't stop paying attention now. We're just about to start talking about the process of a gas turning into a solid. Bet you didn't know that could happen, did you? Deposition occurs when a gas becomes a solid without going through liquid state of matter. Deposition occurs when a gas becomes a solid without going through the liquid state of matter. It's the exact opposite of sublimation. So when heat is taken away from the substance, the temperature drops and deposition occurs.
Go.
For example, when it's super cold outside on winter mornings and you're at the bus stop, bored looking at the plants, and you see those little ice crystals building on the plant leaves. That's because water vapor from the air becomes a solid, which shows a gas turning into a liquid. Next, we have Avery Green to explain to you the process of precipitation and runoff.
One.
Let's talk about let's talk about the process of precipitation. When water droplets in the atmosphere begin to combine, they create bigger droplets. And then, when the air can no longer hold no more water, it just comes back down onto the earth. That's when precipitation occurs. Altitude becomes higher, which causes temperature to become lower, and then obviously the water droplets begin to lose their heat energy. This causes water to fall from the clouds, as water vapor or rain. Water can also fall asleep or hail, and it is vital.
One.
Back here, law of runoff. Next process in the processes. Lastly, we have runoff, which is the process of precipitated water running off the surface of the earth. As water comes down from wherever it leads to, it's running off. As water runs to the ground, it dissipates to the topsoil, along with the steam. This stream to form channels.
Okay.
The stream comes to form channels, then rivers, and eventually winds up to lakes, seas, and oceans. An example of the process would be like erosion of the earth, like grass and dirt. Next, we have Ariel coming back to you live to talk about infiltration.
There's a process called infiltration where precipitated water that wasn't quick enough to be absorbed by a river or a plant is absorbed by soil. The water sinks down into the soil, which increases the level of the groundwater table. This is then called pure water, which is what we drink or what we can drink. Like this. Next, we have Amelia explaining the process of transpiration.
Transpiration is a process quite similar to evaporation. Transpiration is when liquid water is turned into water vapor, but by plants, not by bodies of water. After water is precipitated, some is absorbed by soil in the ground. The roots of a plant then absorbs the water and pushes it toward the plant's leaves to stop the process of photosynthesis. The leftover water is then pushed out of the leaves and into the atmosphere as water vapor. Next, we have the process of freezing. Take it over, Avery.
All right, it's Avery Green here to talk to you about freezing. Freezing or solidification is a process in which you make ice, straight ice. Like, here we go, some ice right there, solid. It's already been frozen. And freezing, freezing, solidification or freezing, whichever one you want to call it the most, is a mostly exothermic process which heat is released from the water, and it's like freezing over. And you got your girl Ariel coming to you live with the melting process.
Alright, the opposite process of freezing is melting. Melting is when a solid changes to a liquid where the internal energy of substance is increased by applying heat or pressure. An example of this is ice melting on a hot summer's day.
I mean, it's melting a little bit.
Alright. Everyone, this was Ariel Pugh, Amelia Johnson, and Avery Green in Lincoln Prep News, and we're signing off.